I just left Corinto, Nicaragua at 5 a.m. and so it just came out of the mouth of the harbor there, and I'm already bashing. Wind is just off the nose from the land side. We're on a port tack. I'm trying to motor back towards the beach. It just got too shitty. Well, I got my ass kicked. I'm not proud of it, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get there. I mean, that was I made 18 miles today, and it was just, I mean, it was just brutal. It was just brutal, and there's nowhere really to hide here between Corinto and a place called Chapa. So it's just a little anchorage that's may or may not be any protection, but that's 50 miles away. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. The boat wouldn't do it, and I didn't have the stamina or patience and wherewithal to do it. So we turned around. We turned and ran. We're running back to Corinto. I'm on my second attempt to go from Corinto to Chapa. It's 60 miles almost. I left earlier today. I left at 2 a.m., 2:30, pulled anchor. And it was calm until we got out here, and of course now the wind's on the nose. It's not strong yet. It's probably 5-7 knots, but makes the apparent wind about 10 on the nose. So we're still moving forward, a little less than 4 knots. Got a long ways to go. Hopefully, you know, I waited for the right weather forecast, or at least I waited for a weather forecast that said there'd be no wind. Because I'd rather just get down there, you know, even if it means motoring, because it seems to be the wind's always on the nose here. So I kind of waited till there was till the forecast said it was calm. Of course, I get out here and that's just not the case. So. I was motoring dead upwind, trying to stay close to the beach. It was calmer over there, a little bit calmer. The wind waves hadn't built up so much. But then the freaking engine died. I got fuel issues and fuel filter issues. I had to change the Raycor filter. I don't have one. I have one that I used temporarily, so it's used, but anyway, so we're sailing, god damn, taking waves over the bow and sailing as close hauled, as close to as we can to the destination, which isn't quite to there, and we're sailing offshore, which I don't like to do, and we're screaming along too fast. We're overpowered. I only have partially furled jib out. So yeah, everything's going great, man. Jesus Christ, this is the hardest part of this whole journey. I've sailed all the way from Princess Louise Inlet, way up north of Vancouver, British Columbia. All the way down here, down the coast, down the Mexican coast, through Central America. This is by far the hardest stretch ever. Incredible. Well, I gotta document this real quick. It's 6:45 at night. 6:30 at night. It's dark out already. We left Corinto. I left Corinto at 2 a.m. I got up at 2 a.m. and left. It had a hell of a day fighting the Papagayo winds. They're just crazy. I'll leave that for another time. But it was 60 miles to a place called Masachapa, which I was going to spend the night at. But there's a huge swell rolling in there, and it's breaking. I couldn't even get to where the place the waypoint for Anchorage, because the rollers were, the swell was breaking. So I stayed out a ways and I dropped the hook, and then once I dropped the hook, I was rising and falling on that swell. It was crazy. It was way too much. So I immediately thought, I just can't stay here. So I tried to get the hook up, and it was jammed on something, on a rock or something on the bottom. Luckily it finally came loose. But so now we're heading south some more. The next real place I can stay is 33, 35 miles away, called Pia del Gigante, foot of the giant. But I've already been up since 2 a.m. last night, and wind, of course, is right on the nose. Waves are right on the nose. So it looks like I'm going to be up still till 4 a.m. if we can keep this pace. But I just don't know what's going to happen between now and then. So. I've made it to an anchorage called Astillero. It's like 4:30. I'm trying to wait for this light for this dawn so I can enter this anchorage, because I'm worried about pangas and mooring buoys, stuff like that. But what a night, man, or what a day and night. It was after I left Masachapa, it was wind right on the nose again and seas right on the nose. I had the engine running at about 2,000 RPMs and just kind of powered into it. I ended up taking 20-minute naps to try to, just to pass the time, because it was just, brutal. So anyway, we may have made it if I can get to the hook down here in a good spot. And it's calmer already, so that's something. We might be out of the swell a little bit, and certainly out of the wind. And then I'm only about 20 miles from San Juan del Sur, so all's well that ends well. But man, what a rough passage. This is the worst passage I've ever had by far, by a long ways. It's good to be here. Well, it will be good to be here with the anchor down. We'll see how this goes. Well, at the risk of boring you with my nonsense, I left Astillero at midnight to head towards San Juan del Sur, kind of the final push, 25 miles. I left at midnight because it blew really hard all day, and I probably wouldn't have been able to get the anchor up in that wind. But so we're on our way, the last final push, like I said, and there was something else. Oh yeah, we're on the last of the fuel, so be nice to sail a little bit, But on the other hand, be careful what you wish for, because around here, man, when you get wind, it's like 30 knots of wind, and it's on the nose. So the goal today is just to get there in one piece, and this will be quite an accomplishment to successfully transit this part of the coast. I mean, it's been pretty shitty. So here we go. I mean, it's about 1 in the morning now. Yeah, 10 to 1. With any luck, we'll get there today. Daybreak is what I'm shooting for. Oh, after all that, coming into San Juan del Sur, and it's just daybreak, and I could not be happier. I can actually see Costa Rica over there across the bay here. It's like the distance across the Strait of Juan. You know, it's that close, 20 miles over there. So I could not be more happy to have conquered this part of the coast. It was so hard, but so I shouldn't count my chickens before they're hatched, because I still got to get in and get anchored here. But I don't care. I mean, I've made it this far. It's just incredible. So.